I know what I'll do. I'll tell you of an adventure. We went, oh, it's broken. It was a nightmare. Here we are. So the plan for today was our hammock camp. A walk back down to where I was about a month ago, in the nice bits of trees. And then the rain set in and there's thunderstorms this afternoon and it's a bit windy, so that's a no. So I'm up at a permission spot. I've also got some new neighbours. Not that fussed about cows, but I'd rather not be anywhere near them. As long as I keep out of the way, that'll be fine. I won't be anywhere near him anyway. So, change plans completely today then. It's not a hammock camp, I'm going to do a comfort camp. We're going to rock out the Nor tent, Vern 1, probably the last one of this season, last time I get a chance to take it out somewhere. We're going to, might even have the fire pit going. I've got some of those fuel log things. And we'll have a nice relaxing camp with a chair, with a table, and just sit back and relax. I will put the other mic on soon, but for now I just need to get the tent set up before the rain really kicks in. So I'll grab the other bits from the car and then I'll come back, get the tent set up. Just managed to roll my ankle again after doing it on the treadmill, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I've been very, very careful since, and I've just done it again. It's not quite so bad this time. Just need to be very, very careful. Right, that's everything from the car. Let's get this tent up. There we are. That's the tent up. Get the sides pegged out. I probably won't bother with the other guys. Should be fine under here. I can always put them out later if I need them. Just for the rain. Right, let's get some gear away. Got to be very careful here of my ankle. Right, vents are open. That's good. Let's get some stuff in. You can see using a different back today. Oh, ouch. Oh, my ankle's making this difficult. Right, different pack today. This is a Night Cat 70 litre, recommended by Cumbrian Lad Outdoors, who's unluckily just quit YouTube. But you know, each to their own. I really haven't used it much, but I will say it's a little hard on the back. I need to go for a walk with it, really. Proper walk. But other than that, it's quite nice. It's got a ton of fixings. Nice big sport bottle pockets on the side. Nice big stretchy pocket on the back. All with the jaw pulls, which is nice. Two nice big belt pockets as well. So at some point I'll get on and do a review of this and of the Royal Mountain Pack against it, and the 3FUL Gear one. But it's just time more than anything else. Anyway, let's get the bedding in. Right, so bed's in, bed's in. Duvets in. I've effectively brought winter kit today. Not because I think the temperature is going to be very low, but more, this is a comfort camp. I want to be very comfy. I don't want to have any issues tonight. I don't care if it gets windy, rainy, thunderstorms, whatever you like. Should be okay. I'll pull that branch down in a second, we'll be alright. Right. Chair and table next. 12:15. Lovely. The beauty of a permission spot, you don't have to worry about starting up, setting up late and leaving early and all that jazz. Right, I'm going to set a chair up. Brought my little chair today. Haven't used this very often. And importantly, this one's got the ball feet for the soft grass. Just about fits back in the bag with the ball feet on. Just. These legs extend. So we'll put them out. This design is good, but could be better. If the legs actually clipped in rather than just staying loose, that would be better. But, you know, it is what it is. The pole pockets could do with being a bit deeper as well. A bit easier to use. They are quite thin. There we are. Oh. It's quite a change now to have a chair. The last few hammock camps, the walking camps, or one with the lounge chair, I haven't brought a chair because it's just extra weight. It's not hugely heavy. It's probably 1.5 or something like that kilos, maybe a little more. But that's weight I didn't want to carry, so I didn't. Right, I'm going to shut the bug net up because I can see the little flies turning up. That's better. I do have Smidge with me, and I do have my I want to say fire maple, but I don't think it is. Oh, I can feel some rain coming in. Yep, it's raining. Right, I'll leave the table for now then. I'm going to put the gear in the tent so that nothing gets too wet, and we'll see where we go from there. Well, crawled in the tent for now. I think it's just a passing shower, so we'll just have a chill for a bit, see what happens. Should be fine. The weather's just gonna keep showering, I think, so that's okay. It's not too bad at all. Gonna make some coffee. Brought the mental stove again, but I've got a different gas canister this time. Proper one that's not been refilled, so hopefully and we'll see if it's still an issue. I don't think it is. I think it definitely was just the refill process. What should we do? Coffee? Lots of good things today. Lots of stuff I haven't bought for ages. Spare stove. And gas. I didn't think that through, did I? That's fine. That'll be fine. Nice new gas canister. Still forgot to clean my cup. Oh well. Just a bit of crap, there we are. And I've got, what, a litre and a half of water here. Something like that. But I've also got the filters just in case. I can always go and get some more. That was quick. So quick, I haven't even got myself sorted out yet. Some form of 3-in-1 coffee. Coffee's coffee, that's right. So either tomorrow, today or tomorrow, really depend on weather. I'm planning to go for a wander. And I want to wander up on the hill here, see how far we can get. These 3-in-1 coffees are never very appetising, but they are easy to lug about. I can feel the rain coming in again. It's only spitting, but it's something. It's rather annoying. We've got a choice of food later. So I've got some cooked chicken with me. I've got some noodles with me and a hoisin sauce. So I might do that. I've also got a couple of bits of bacon that's already cooked and some eggs, which I might have for breakfast. We'll see how I feel. Pretty sure I've got maybe some porridge too. Yeah, I have. So we'll see how we feel. There ain't no rush for any of this. It's only 5 to 1 in the afternoon anyway. So it's a long time before we have to worry about eating. I think it's going to be quite a wet night, I think. Which I don't mind. Especially when I'm out in the North tent. Really doesn't bother me at all. Well, I'm going to chillax, read my book for a bit, That's what camping's all about, right? Coming out, relaxing. Hopefully the rain will just carry on passing through. Nothing serious. I went dozing for a while, and the rain's been on and off, fairly heavy actually. But I have got a little tarp with me, but I've not used it before, and I need to build some lines, which I've also got. So I might just do that for a little while. So I've got these line locks. But I realise I don't actually know how they work. So it's going to be a bit of a trial and error, I think. Go up through there. Down through there. I wonder if it's the other way. This is the wrong cord for this. Let's try. I've got some other cordage here. Through there. Down through there. I suppose I could look it up. Just cut off a bit. I'm going to look it up. Right, I think I've figured it out now. So first I'm putting a loop on the front. Because the idea is I want to attach these with the some nice little carabiners. Unfortunately, I only brought the big carabiners with me today, but that's okay. So, I've got a nice loop on the front of it. And then up the back, down the front. Put a knot in this end, which is the adjustment end, so it doesn't pull through, and then measure it out. Of course it's all getting tangled now. Of course it is. So I'm doing roughly 4 metre lengths, should be more than enough. Very roughly. And then the other end, I'm going to put a loop in case I use it for tie outs. Those massively oversized big ass carabiners on the front loop. That's what I've got with me, but I've got small ones at home. There we are. I'll get
get some elastic on these and make some little ties to keep them all nice and compact. Very nice too. Right, cool. Know what I'm doing now. Well, that's done. It was a little bit of a palaver, so I shall reward myself with a wee dram. Not that it's Scotch. Coffee flavoured rum, or rather, rum with coffee flavour. I don't know. Very nice. Right, I can see the sun's come out. Rain stopped coming down for now. Go and have a look.
Well, look at that. There's a little bit of grey up this way, but oh, that one's not too bad. Clouds are moving fairly fast. Tent's nicely hidden in there. I could go for that walk. The risk is getting soaked though. I'm not sure I want to do that today, but I think I should be alright to put the chair back up and the table together. Don't know. 4:30. Yeah, I think we'll chance it. It's looking good. Had the rain. Get the on Tiger's table set up. A slight worry that that's going to have to be put away fairly sharpish, but we'll worry about that if it happens. Still quite a breeze. I'll shut that in the door in a sec. Been a while since I've used this. Probably since last summer. Now I remember just how annoying it can be. There we are, table. Oh. You see I had to put a jumper on. Well, the rain came in, the wind got up, it got pretty chilly. Trying to see if I can find a spot for the tarp. Probably not. I think the wind's too up and down for the tarp today. Bit unfortunate, but there we are. I'm going to grab a phone and then we'll have a look and see what the weather's supposed to be doing for the rest of the day. Making up those lines was quite messy. That string was quite crumbly. What are we at now? 25. Yeah, it's going to start raining again at 6 for another 3 hours. No chance of wandering. Plenty of time tomorrow though, before about 3. So we'll do the wander tomorrow. Yeah, comes the weather in again. I wanted to have the little off the ground fire pit thing.
think I'm going to get caught out by the rain all the time. Unless I put the tarp up, and I don't really think that the weather, the wind, is cooperating enough for a tarp. The problem with the wind here is it swirls. So if it comes off the back of the mountain this way, it just dives into the valley quite strong. Hence why all the trees have fallen that way. But if it comes either side, it just either rolls around the mountain like this and doesn't dive to the valley, or it just goes all over the shop. Okay. We've got some noodles. Some chicken, quite a lot of chicken actually, probably too much, and a sauce. And then that's breakfast. Bit too vicious. Okay. Warmish. Now I'm not going to have all of this chicken, there's way too much here. And all I'm doing is heating it. Let that heat for a sec. Don't take long, it's already bubbling. Should have brought my bigger pot. Edible. I could eat from the pot. I probably should, but it's a little bit more awkward. Oh yeah, we've got a bit of burn going on. Okay. Let's get a little water in there. Later. Let's see what we got. It'll do. Try and tuck the beard away a bit. Breeze is getting up again. As soon as the wind gets up, the temperature plummets. I think it would due some more rain in a sec. Now I know this isn't particularly diet worthy, but right this second, I'm in what they call a plateau, which means nothing's really moving very fast. However, I don't think it's far off. I'm starting to feel, when I bodily, that we're almost getting somewhere. The treadmill walking, much easier. I'm walking faster for longer. Got to be a good sign, right? I'm almost guaranteed to get this in my beard, by the way, just so you're aware. If that's not your thing, look away now. Part of the reason for the walk tomorrow is twofold, really. One, I need to get the steps in. I haven't done the steps today because I just wanted to come out and relax. And two, I need to know what's up there. I've seen it from the road. I've seen it, driving past. I've got a good idea that it just opens up to nothing. There's no extra tree patches for me. I'd like to say that I went to the top of it, even if I don't manage it tomorrow. One day I will. Beards. Noodles and beards. Yeah, so it looks like it just opens up to grassland the further up that way you go. So in theory, if I can get there, there should be some spots for camping. Don't know how far up. It'd be fantastic to get to the top and have a look. But I'm not putting that pressure on myself for tomorrow. I'm just not. Oh, what do I fancy? Do I actually fancy a cup of tea? Do you know what, I might? Oh, holding this bag. Okay. The tea has to be sweet. Let's have milk. Using the kettle again. Good job I brought it, because I've just trashed the pot. Very civilised. Yeah, I should have thought that. I know what I'll do. I'll tell you of an adventure. When I say adventure, what I mean is chaos, a nightmare. So we went down to Carmarthen? No. Can't remember now. Hang on. Gonna have to look that up now. It was Carmarthen. Yeah. Okay. Start that again then. So we went down to Carmarthen. There's a cash and carry down there that's a bit of fun to go to more than anything else. Not exactly realistically a lot cheaper than anything else you can get, but a bit of fun. And it rained all the way there. No worries. And it rained, and it rained. And by the time we got back to the car from doing the shop, there was a massive puddle at the back of my car. So I got soaking wet feet straight off the bat, putting stuff in the boot. That was lovely. Happens, okay. Coming back, and it's about an hour's drive. All of a sudden, my windscreen wipers failed in torrential rain. Like, failed as in stopped, jammed, gave up, nothing. So we pulled over in someone's driveway and they gormed through the window at us and we went, oh, it's broken. And I tried to fix it and I just couldn't. I had no tools, I had no idea what I was doing. So in the end I found some old lightning cables and an audio cable, I think. And we ended up tying them to the one windscreen wiper that was loose. One was jam solid, one was completely loose. Tied them and went round the front of the windscreen and in through the side windows. So I'm driving along, I pull one side and the wife pulls the other side to take it back to try and do that. It was a nightmare. But we drove 35 minutes like that or so. Now, I am not suggesting that is a good thing to do. Please don't do that. In the middle of Wales, where we are, you see the police every now and again, and it is very infrequent, and that's a good thing. Anyway, we did not spot any police cars, thank goodness. Had a police car spotted what we were doing, they'd have stopped us straight off the bat. I'd have been in real trouble for dangerous driving, probably, don't know. We certainly wouldn't have been able to carry on the journey. Anyway, we made it home. It was a nightmare. It was very, very trying, very taxing. Bit of a killer drive. And then a couple of days later, I looked up how much it was going to cost. I assumed the whole thing had failed, the motor had failed and all sorts. That was a £400 fix, which I was really not looking forward to doing. So I broke out the meagre tools that I own, which is basically hammer, some mole grips and about a bunch of screwdrivers, and looked up YouTube, as you do, and tried to find a way to fix it. So there, I just found a YouTube video that sort of made sense to me, about how to take out the plastic skirting underneath the windscreen and then get to the motor assembly and the levers and things. Got that all apart finally. Took a while, not having any of the right tools, obviously. To take the windscreen wiper units off is a 15mm spanner. Now I've got 14mm, and I've got some mole grips. So mole grips it was, to take those off. Got the unit apart, and one of the levers, one of the arms that moves things around, had just basically popped apart. And they're only like ball joint things. Great, methinks. I can reattach that, so I reattached it, put it all back together, put the windscreen wipers on, turned them on, and they just went like and crashed and jammed and all sorts. And I couldn't figure it out. Anyway, it was getting late that night, so I made it waterproof again, watertight, and then gave up. Back to it yesterday afternoon, and I figured out that what was happening was the windscreen wiper here, my one on the driver's side, was going down first. In fact, it was always going down, it was never coming up. And what I'd done is where the linkages were, I'd attached them this side, and I needed to attach it this side. So there's a little bracket, turn it round. Just had to turn it round and go the other way. And it's fixed. So that's me being a mechanic, saving 400 quid, which meant I could come out here today with my car. That was cool, huh? Yep, that's tea. And if you're thinking, well, that's really simple, don't know what the fuss was all about. I don't do cars, don't do mechanic-y things, I don't do manually things. I can do electronics, computers. I don't like plumbing. I definitely don't like cars. Not cars nowadays. When we were kids, we would be replacing suspension struts and brakes and head gaskets and stuff on old Cortinas, Escorts, but you can't do any of that nowadays. Anyway, so me fixing something with 2 screwdrivers and a pair of mole grips, pretty happy with that. It's really good to get back out in the Vern. Shout out to Headley Thorne, who's also managed to pick himself up a Vern 1 PC. This week's video is him lugging it up the top of one of the Welsh mountains, over in the Black Mountains. I'm not sure I would want to do that. This is not a light tent. It's bit catch-22. You want something that's absolutely rock solid, nothing's going to shake it on the top of a mountain. Then the Vern 1 PC is the tent for you. But it's about 3.6, 3.9 kilos all in. That's a lot of weight. Or more realistically, it's a lot of other things you've got to sacrifice to be able to carry that weight. I think he said he was carrying 17 kilos up the side of a mountain. And I guess, on that 5-hour journey, I think, it was 4.5, 5 hours. But I'm guessing he carried everything he normally carries, plus the Vern. And I don't think you can really do that. You have to skin down if you're going to put this in your pack. It's a big old lump. It's doable, obviously. And it is the best thing to have up there. I don't care what people say about Hillebergs and stuff. This tent thrashes a Hilleberg as far as I'm concerned in any sort of condition. Certainly in wind and rain. Obviously you still get a bit of condensation in the inside because it's one skin, single skinned. So bear that in mind. But then I've heard that the Hillebergs get condensation as well, and they're double skinned. One thing I do know, this is not as flappy as a Hilleberg. So I know it's been mentioned by a lot of YouTubers recently, but there's a lot of changes on YouTube. There's a lot of algorithm tweaks that are going on. Seem to be favouring the shorts, I think. I don't know. I think a lot of people are reporting that their viewing numbers have dropped off and that things are just not getting pushed out the same way as they were, this time last year. So I think long form stuff is still reasonably relevant, reasonably being picked up by the algorithm, okay. But people that have spent 5-6 years building a channel, getting to a point and not being able to push it any harder, push it further, must be soul destroying if that's what you were trying to do. And I know that there's at least 2 that I was watching, 2 YouTubers that have now quit. The first one was about 6-7 weeks ago, was Mr. Wild Wales. He wasn't a hugely regular poster, once a month maybe, sometimes. But he did adventures, and he went out and, got out there and did stuff with friends. Mostly with friends, less solo. And he decided to give it up. And I think some of that was family commitments, some of that was, changing circumstance, that sort of stuff. But also he just wasn't growing. The channel had stagnated. And I'm sure there's things that can be done, should you wish to do so. But I think he just had enough. And then 2 weeks ago, I think, or 1 week ago, maybe, a Cumbrian lad outdoors said, that's it, done. Now, to be fair, end of last year, he said, this is probably his last year, 2026 was probably his last year on YouTube, unless things changed. And the unless things changed part was YouTube. It was the algorithm, was how well, small creators are being pushed in front of new users, whether they're being pushed out to subscribers properly, all that sort of stuff. And in his opinion, and that's his opinion, he didn't feel like it was getting anywhere. It wasn't improving. I sort of get what he said, if I'm honest. The numbers are definitely down from last year. So anyway, he said he'd give it a year. He gave it 5 months. And I think it's just other pressures and things contributed to him saying, that's it, I'm not going to make any more YouTube videos, I'm not going to put the effort in. And what you've got to realise is, this isn't an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money to get the kit to make this to work. You know, the action cameras and the microphones and the lights and some decent gear that you can show off. It's not cheap at all. And so if you don't feel like you're getting the return for the investment that you're making, I understand why people get despondent and say enough's enough. At the moment, there aren't any other realistic platforms to go against YouTube. It's a shame. I think there's been some smaller ones that have attempted it, but nothing's really taken off. People are giving up or querying whether the effort is really worth it. I understand. I mean, I'm nowhere near anywhere close to being the size that those people were. I've got just under 500 subscribers now, which is brilliant, thank you very much. But I think Cumbrian Lad had getting up for 5,000 close. And I've been doing for 6 years. I've only been doing this for, a year and a half. So he would have been making some money from it, AdSense and revenue. Probably not much. You know, the big channels make a ton, the small channels don't. And that, it depends on what you're doing it for an income. Someone like Paul Messner, who quit the day job and took up YouTubing full time, has to keep pushing on it. Has to keep doing everything he can because that's his income. This will never become my income. I couldn't get anywhere close to having this as an income stream, as the only income stream. But it would be nice to make 40 quid, you know, to be able to buy a couple of more bits, not out of my pocket, but out of the effort that you put in. That'd be good. One day. I'm halfway, basically. Over halfway on viewing hours, just under halfway on the subscriber count. So you have to have 1,000 subscribers and you have to have 4,000 watch hours before they even think about monetising you. And even then, at that size, with my viewership range, I'm not going to attract the big top earner advertising. So I'm never likely to make a huge amount of money out of it. But we might make a couple of quid here and there. Enough for gas canisters, maybe. Well, that's cool. That'll be fine. But I'm not doing this as a job. I do this for funsies, apparently. No, I do. I do it for fun. I do it for the peace and quiet. I do it for just being out in the wilderness. It's not really wilderness, is it? But you know what I mean. Being out under the trees, in the rain, in the wind, it's lovely. Even if you're cold, it's lovely. As long as you're inside, in a tent. You can be cold in a tent, it's fine. I could put my waterproofs on and go for a walk, but I'd get drenched. My feet would be soaked, and I wouldn't enjoy that. And then I'd have to fix that, and you know. So, we won't do that. I think I mentioned last time, I'm back to using a proper tripod. And there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is I can just plonk it down and move the ball joint on the top so that I can get a straight angle on the camera, regardless of how wonky the tripod legs are. The disadvantage is it's quite a big unit, it's clunky. It's pretty light, this one. I think it's about the lightest one I could find on Amazon. But but it is still, you know, that long even if it's packed away. So yeah, good and bad parts. Does mean I can move you around a bit more. With the ground being so uneven, it's really difficult when I was using the small frame tripod. The little just splayed feet. Just couldn't get it to stay solid. This is much better for that. Anyway, being on this sort of health kick diet thing, I haven't got picky stuff to eat all night long. I haven't got, you know, chocolate and biscuits and all that sort of stuff, even though that sounds great. The best way to not eat it is to not bring it. So that's what I've done. I do have hot chocolate for later, which I'll have before bedtime. Time is now 5:37. Sunset's not till 28 minutes past 9 tonight, like 4 hours or so. But as normal when I'm here, the sun drops down behind this mountain quite early. It's probably got another 2 hours before that goes beyond the mountain and we start to lose the light. That's fine. That wind's getting up again. I think what I'll do is pack away, get everything where it needs to be, and get ready so I can have a hot chocolate later on tonight. Everything else can get packed away. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it? There we are, so in bed. All snuggled away. Everything's in the tents apart from the chair and the table frame. Don't need those, they can stay out there. And the washing. I'm going to read my book for a bit. Chillax. Bring it back later. That's Galaxy hot chocolates. Right. So it's been raining pretty much constantly, on and off, all day long really, which is fine. Tent's fine. Even when the wind gusts, which it does every now and again, that's fine too. Really not a big issue, this tent. I do have quite a lot of stuff with me for some reason. I was hoping to sit outside a lot more. But hey ho. Just the way it goes. Helps with the condensation. Two end vents are also open. Go back to watching my film. Took ages to get sleep last night. Couldn't shut my brain up. Well, I've had quite good sleep, all in all. There's quite a lot of rain last night. A little bit windy. A lot of wind now. You can hear it blowing across, but it's higher. You can hear it coming through the trees, but it's not at ground level. Which is sort of okay. My ankle does hurt though from yesterday when I twisted it again. So that with the wind I think has stopped the idea of going up the mountain. I think I'm just going to kick back and relax for a bit. I might pack up soon, or I might just sit here. I haven't decided yet.
It's still a little bit overcast out here, but it was a good night, generally. Plenty of rain. Not that you'd know, temp was absolutely solid as normal. But the wind's getting up. And the plans from child have changed, so I need to go and collect her earlier than I thought I was going to have to. So I'm just going to pack away. I'm not going to bother with coffee or anything like that. Just going to get my gear packed away and shoot off. Ugh, just pack it away. Always feels like so much to do when you pack away. I don't really bring the table and that very often because it's reasonably rare that I'm out in weather that can let me sit out. A bit like yesterday really. But also it's a bit of a faff. You got to watch out that these don't spring on you when you're taking these out. And if you've just bought a Vern and you've used it a time or two and your poles are bent, don't worry about it. They do that. It's not an issue as long as it's not kinked. A bend is fine, it's just a natural bend because of the pressure that tents under. Not too wet. Typically Mr. Peg. I'll let this out dry, lay it out when I get home. It's not too bad. Key tip with these Verns, whatever you do, don't zip up the inside completely when you're putting it away, because it just balloons, traps all the air inside, and then you've no chance of putting it in the bag. Right, like it all down to the car. Catch you next time.